Welcome to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. I want to welcome you to my channel today where I will be taking part in the seasonal garland DIY challenge with Sandra at the Showman's Nest and Jamie at Simple Living. Today there will be a whole bunch of talented people making some seasonal garland. I will be doing two. The first one is like an evergreen garland, as you can see here. So with this garland, I chose the 9-foot Rochester garland that's non-lit, and it was $6.88. And this one is the 9-foot non-lit branch garland. That's only $2.76. So that one will be the base of our garland. And then I'm just going to take snips off of the Rochester garland. It has, those long pine needles and just gives it a nice extra depth to it. These long needles look real. And so I'm going to take those at the end. Now I also took the end piece of that garland that has a hoop on the end. So if I want to hang this up, I can definitely do that. At the other end, you can always just make a ring with the other wired garland or some of your wire. And I'm just going to attach whatever I'd like on my garland here. I got these pine cones from outside and I just put a wire on there and I'm wrapping it around. Everything that I'm going to attach, I will attach with wire. So I took some of the berries from the Dollar Tree, put those on there, and then I just have a paddle of floral wire and I'm just wrapping it around. We're just securing it to this garland. And I will continue that on the next few items, as you will see. Now, a crafty hint for this garland is to fold it in half and find that center so that you can make the items kind of sink on each side so that it isn't heavy with items on one side and light on the other. So I did half of it to the middle and then I flipped it around. I did the other half and worked my way in. But you'll just continue the jingle bells, just stick it through the hole, twist the wire, and then wrap it around. It is as easy as this. I looked on Kirkland's and they're about $50 for a garland like this. And if you decide to add the lights, it's $100. So it's just crazy. You could add the battery operated lights, or if you happen to have, a outlet near your garland, you could definitely plug it in. This one I think I'm going to do for my staircase, and I might add some lights in later, but I've decided to leave it without lights thus far. Okay, and now for the center of our garland, we're going to make a bow. Now this is a simple bow. We're just going to make 2 circle rings. So I'm going to make a ring, I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to make the next one just a little bit smaller. I'll make a ring and then I'll cut it. Just align those and you'll just fold them in half so that we do mark the center. so that they do line up well. Here I am folding this one in half, and I will do the same with the smaller one. So then I can just set it right in the center so that they're not off at all. And then I will take my floral wire and I will just wrap it around both of these right in the center to bind them together. This will also give me the wire to attach it to my garland. The only thing left to do is to take the rest of the ribbon and put it around the center and tie a knot in the back. Now, when you tie this knot in the back, you're going to want to be careful. And I'm sorry, this is just a little bit off camera. You're going to want to make sure to just twist it just a little bit so you have the wrong side facing you, so that on the outside it is the right side facing out, so that those tails will look nice on your garland. Straighten those up. I'm going to take them together and then fold it in half. And now just make sure you cut from the center out. Whoops, almost went the wrong way. So the center out to the edge, and that gives you the dovetailed ends. And I will just wrap this around the center and my garland is done. Simple as that. You can add just as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. The little drums at the Dollar Tree might be another nice thing on here, but those jingle bells really were cute on here, I think. You have that red and gold, which just reminds me of those traditional Christmas colors. Right, and there it is. Just straighten everything up. And that should do it for this garland. Turn out pretty. Now I've got this draped on my banister. You could definitely put it above a window. You could put it on a mantle. Anywhere you'd like to put a garland, I think it would fit. If you're enjoying this video so far, I do hope that you'll leave a comment for me and hit the like. And if you really have enjoyed this video, I do hope you'll subscribe, because I have so many more ideas for Christmas just ready to put online for you. Here's our second garland. This one's just a little bit more rustic and will be a snowflake garland. So here I have the package of 5 snowflakes from the Dollar Tree. And then I took some of the wooden beads. These I actually got off of Amazon, but you could get them at your craft store, or you could use some of the beads from the Dollar Tree and paint those. I did use Crimson by Waverly to just paint these. Putting them on the skewer, it just makes it easier to paint them, as well as I can put them right into the foam block to dry also, just like that, and then they're out of the way. Next, I used my ivory chalk paint and I just painted the snowflakes. I think these would have been pretty just being left with the wood and maybe added some of the antiquing. But, you know, you can definitely do whatever's going to fit your decor best. I am going to use this on a wet wipe, and I'm going to take some of those other wood beads, and I'm just going to rub it on there. Now, some of them get quite dark, and so I started to put these on, but I wasn't as happy. Even with the wet wipe, it went on really dark with it just being that fresh, unfinished wood. So I did end up, after I got my bucket full, I did end up just putting some water in there and soaking a little bit of it off, and the antiquing in the water also started to color some of the other beads. But here I am adding some of the antique to the snowflake as well, and then wiping it off with a clean wet wipe. And you just kind of have to work at it a little bit, see what you want it to look like. But I think that this turned out fun. It gave it a real country farmhouse feel, like these snowflakes have just been carved and they've been around for forever. Just going back over the snowflakes with a dry brush effect. So this is an old bristly paintbrush that barely has any paint on there, and I'm just taking some white back across it. Now here's what I was talking about with these beads earlier. I put them in the water, and then I'm just adding a little bit of antiquing, putting them back in the water, just making sure I get a couple different colors to them. Let's make that garland. So you're going to make up your own pattern, whatever you think would be pretty. You know, I just put every so often, you know, I counted it off and I put the red, and then in the middle of those I hung my snowflakes. But you're going to make this as long as you want and develop your own pattern that suits your decor. Now, when I do tie on the snowflakes, all I'm going to do is take that jute twine that I did string the beads on, and I'm going to tie them in between those beads and just make a knot. I'm not going to tie it to the other jute. All I'm going to do is tie it around so that I can move it if I want to at some point. Cut the twine, you just want to make sure that you leave enough of a tail so that you can hang that up however you want. And here's what I was describing with the snowflakes. This cute ribbon at Walmart. I think it was $2.48, but it has a good length to it as well. So I'm just going to make a simple bow and make sure that the ribbon side sticks out so I don't have the blank side. But it has a stitching to it, which gives it kind of that country feel. And then all I'm going to do with this bow is I'm going to take some double-sided tape, and I'm going to attach it to the top of the tacks that I'm hanging up this garland with. just that nice country garland. Thanks again to Sandra and Jamie for co-hosting this DIY challenge, and I do hope that you'll visit all of the other videos in this playlist. Thank you so much, and I hope you have enjoyed.